the hidden weight of unspoken things. Some things do not become heavier all at once. They become heavier slowly. That little silence here, a swallowed feeling there, a truth we almost said but didn't. And sometimes we convince ourselves that silence is peace. But not all silence is peaceful. Some silence is protection. Some silence is fear. Some silence is just exhaustion. Some silence is the place where our truth goes when we're not sure if it will be received with care. And I've been thinking about how much people carry that no one sees. Not because they're hiding, and it's not because they're being dishonest, but because somewhere along the way, they learned how to carry things quietly. They learned how to say, I'm fine. They learned how to keep the conversation moving. They learned how to put everyone's comfort ahead of their own honesty. And after a while, the unspoken thing starts to take up that space, and it will sit in the room, even when nobody is mentioning it, even when people are laughing, even when everything looks normal from the outside. And that's what makes it difficult to notice. Distance doesn't always arrive with an argument. Sometimes it arrives with silence. A conversation avoided. A feeling that's dismissed. A need left unnamed. A disappointment that never found words. And slowly, what goes unspoken begins to create this space between people. And it's not because they stopped caring about each other, but because something real was never allowed to breathe. And I wonder how many relationships struggle beneath the weight of things that were never actually said. And it's not because people don't love each other, but because they don't know how to share what matters. Sometimes we're still trying to understand ourselves. Sometimes we're afraid we will be misunderstood. And sometimes we're afraid to be judged. And sometimes we're afraid nothing will change. That might be one of the hardest fears of all. To finally say the thing you've been carrying and wondering if anyone will truly hear it. So we just keep carrying it. We carry it into our conversations. We carry it into our reactions. we carry it in a way so we can pull back. The way we stop asking. The way we stop reaching. And then eventually we find ourselves wondering why we are feeling so disconnected. Reflection has a way of gently bringing us back to ourselves. Not with blame, not with judgment, just awareness. A quiet willingness to notice. To ask ourselves, what have I been carrying? What have I been not trying to feel? What have I been hoping someone would understand without me having to say it? That question stays with me because so many of us want to be understood. But some things and sometimes we expect people to hear words that we never speak. We expect them to see needs we've never expressed. And we expect them to understand our wounds that we're not even revealing. And maybe that's part of being human. Wanting to be known without having to explain ourselves. But even the people who love us cannot always see the inside of our rooms that we kept locked. Sometimes we have to open the door of ourselves. And it's not at all at once. I'm not saying that. And not perfectly. We have to practice a new skill. Just honestly. Maybe honesty sounds like this. I've been carrying something. And maybe it sounds like this. I didn't know how to say this before, or I'm just starting to understand this myself. Or maybe it sounds like this. I need you to understand what this has felt like for me. Simple words. Human words. Words that allow something hidden to finally come to light. And as I sit with this, I find myself thinking about the future version of us. This version of us that is a little wiser, a little calmer, and a little more peace. And I wonder what that version of us would actually want us to notice right now. Would they keep telling us to carry everything alone? Or would they gently remind us that honesty creates these possibilities silence never could? Would they thank us for protecting ourselves and being silent? Or would they thank us for finally trusting our voice? Maybe your future self isn't asking you to have every answer today. And maybe they're simply asking you to stop abandoning you, what is known to be true. To stop treating your feelings like you don't matter. To stop carrying things that were never meant to become this heavy. Because every unspoken thing asks something of us. It asks for attention. It's asking us for honesty. It's asking us to be acknowledged. And the longer we ignore it, the heavier it becomes. Not every truth needs to become a confrontation. Not every feeling needs to become a conflict. But every feeling deserves awareness. Every truth deserves acknowledgement. And every relationship deserves the opportunity for more honesty. And maybe that's what reflection offers us. A place to notice what we have been carrying. A place to understand ourselves more clearly. A place to recognize when silence is serving us, or when silence is just keeping us from connection. Because reflection helps us understand ourselves. And when we understand ourselves more clearly, we start to create possibilities of connection more deeply with others. So maybe today the question isn't what needs to be said. Maybe the question is, what is asking to be acknowledged? And what would become lighter if we finally just allowed ourselves, yourselves, to see it? This is Queen Serenity, Lena Esther Cruz, Mother Queen of AI, creator of Serenity AI, founder of Serenity2mindset, helping people connect with themselves so they can connect more deeply with others. Serenity AI is a reflection generated from you interacting, not from perfect truth, but it is a reflection place where questions, patterns, and self-awareness can be explored more deeply.